to Sports Talk.
Oh, did the show start?
Along with
We had to wait till you get here every week.
extra
Fire the producer.
Mr. Mark Howard
Fire
and
the one that come
coming
late.
out of Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Two Dog Sports Talk Show, Mr. Jeremiah Watts and the COO himself of TAAN TV, the reigning genius of the group, Mr. Vance Bradley. How's
Hey,
everybody doing?
if you notice, Phil didn't say genius right. He said he said it wrong because you ain't no genius.
Okay, say Jeremiah, stop, man. I'm trying to be nice.
Uh,
I'm trying to be nice, but
Hey, Phil the one that said it wrong, man. I ain't
uh,
had nothing to do with that.
you get what you get. Look, fellas,
hey,
let's get started with some insanity of the thought processes.
You mean after the reigning genius is more insanity?
Believe it or not, I think they collaborated on this. Kevin Garnett says it's time for LeBron James and Kevin Durant to become spot-up players. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Vance, I'm sure you know that means getting them off the ball and just literally waiting around until somebody basically passes them the ball for them to shoot. Vance, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
I knew
Especially
you
LeBron.
wouldn't. I knew you
Especially
wouldn't.
LeBron. It's about time him to get off the ball. Slow foot's walking it up. Got to wait on him now. Hey, so that's what I'm saying. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, KD, I might be losing. I got to see KD play another year and see what he got because that Achilles might be, happening. But LeBron for sure, get him off the ball.
Okay, look, Mark, we obviously see that we have a resident LeBron hater. Anytime you take two of the still current top 10 players in the league and you want to make them off ball players, Mark, what's
Especially
your
when they
thoughts
old.
on
All of
Vance's
them got old.
nonsense?
All of them got old, Phil.
Hey, seriously. Whatever Vance said shows that it's the opposite. So I don't even have to say it. You can go to Jeremiah with that question.
Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah,
that's
let me go to
idiotic.
you. We know that if you wanted to make any kind of an argument, Phoenix has Devin Booker, who's more than capable of taking those reins, but you still, can't negate what Kevin Durant is capable of. That's something that could never, at this point in time, happen with the Lakers. Would you have Vance out?
Well, Vance think they should play off the ball the whole game. No, they
Did I say the whole game?
the way your comment was, it made it seem like it was the whole game. Because if you watch the game, the season last year, they did play off the ball. Matter of fact, LeBron James played off the ball more last year than he ever have in any season. And KD,
Hey, don't wake him up. Let him sleep.
and KD don't bring the ball up all the time. He play off ball.
When does
So
KD ever bring the ball up?
he do every now and then. But
Stop, Mark.
so
Stop.
the comment that Kevin Garnett made, and you agreeing with it, Kevin Garnett saying they should be spot up shooters and play off the ball the whole game. That don't make sense for
Doesn't
neither
make an
team.
ounce of sense. But let's move right along because something else that makes even worse sense. But Vance, I know this is something that you'll love because on that comment, even Paul Pierce, who was sitting with him, was as befuddled looking as could be. Because if Paul Pierce couldn't understand why he said that, Lord knows, Vance, I knew Jeremiah and Mark wasn't going to understand it. But Vance, I'm living rent free in his head. That's what Dwayne Wade is saying when it comes to Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, Vance, is it time for Paul Pierce to stop just saying he's better than Dwayne Wade?
Yeah, it's time for Paul Pierce to shut up. And Paul was good. Paul was one you could count on in the clutch. He was a hard hose. He was a good player, but You know, it is what it is. He fizzled out, just like your boy, LeBron James. He fizzled out. And to get back, let me take some words back to Jeremiah. I never said KD should be off the ball the whole game. Nor did I say LeBron should be off the ball, but most of the game, LeBron should. So don't be putting words in my mouth because my words flow.
Hold on.
Jeremiah,
Now you
Jeremiah, stop it. I'm going to put a clear up on this because my question was, is it time for them to play off the ball? Vance's statement was, yes, it is, especially LeBron James. So Jeremiah, ding, 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 you're the winner because that would insinuate that he's saying the whole game. So next, Mark, I'm not even going to address that question of Dwayne Wade to you. Mark.
No. I'm gonna say it differently. I prefer Paul Pierce to Dwayne Wade.
Okay, good. Give it to us, Mark.
That's why, because
shut up.
Let me, because
shut up, because you don't know
this
nothing
is
about
why
no
your
basketball.
this is why your coaching
I'm
staff.
saying, be quiet. Shut up.
Shut up. Explain your coaching style right here. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Why not me?
Hey, why not me?
Hey, why not me? So I will say to you that the one thing that you could say that Dwayne Wade had over Pierce was his athleticism. Paul Pierce was, to me, a better scorer, getting to his shot. He could shoot from the outside, shoot from the mid range, and get there. He also was a very good defender. Remember, in the championship game, let me guard Kobe. Unlike, I'm digressing with Giannis that won't guard anybody. But anyway, actually, he guarded Jokic for 2 seconds. They lost. Anyway, and the one thing that you're not looking at dynamic wise is that because Paul Pierce didn't have the athleticism. But if I remember, he's the all-time leading scorer in Boston Celtics history. Okay. By the way, LeBron James didn't do much. He scored 29 points a game last year, but he's definitely not scoring. He should be off the ball more.
Okay. Well, look, let's move right along. Jeremiah, let's get into a little NFL. Should Andrew Luck be a Hall of Famer?
If Andrew Luck make the Hall of Fame, put Sterling Sharp in the Hall of Fame.
You stole my line. Anyway, go ahead.
End of discussion.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to get back to that because I want to piggyback off of that. But Vance, would you take us to commercial break and let's come right back with Mr. Jeremiah Watts in just a doggone minute.
You tune in to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach, y'all. You're in the room with Sports Talk with our host, Phil Townsend, comedian Mark Howard, Two Dog Sports host, Jeremiah Watts, and the genius of all, Mr. Vance Bradford. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Two Dog Sports Show out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, show some love for Mr. Jeremiah. What?
It's the only time you can make sense.
What you doing tonight, brother?
All right, I'll be doggone if Michael Orr. I guess the people that allegedly adopted you showed their true colors, and I think your it's sad, that people take advantage of young African Americans. Are we shocked? I think not. But Michael Orr, somehow they were made the stars of the movie The Blind Side, but the story was supposed to have been about your life. But they were made the stars of it, in my opinion. That should have told you from day one that they were going to be getting paid off you. And I'm glad now that you are seeing the light. I'm glad that things have came to the light. And maybe this is a lesson for a lot of people to make sure that you read your paperwork, get understanding. And if he was in a group home or anything like that, I think they need to investigate the group home because they allowed this sham to happen. The judge allowed this sham to happen. But Michael Orr, get your money, man. It's yours. And I'll be doggone if I'm not out.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Jeremiah. Look, that's an important thing. It's so important. I was actually going to talk about it tonight. That's so interesting. Look, and you can only look at all the disadvantaged youth that have subsequently been taken advantage of. Michael Orr is an 18-year-old guy, spending a lot of his time homeless. Mom, a drug addict, father out of the picture with other siblings. This family was redemptive, supposedly to him, the Toohey family. They made the movie Blindside, if you're familiar with it, with Leanne Toohey being, as Jeremiah just mentioned, really the star of the show. And Michael Orr
won Academy Award.
Yeah, what we know is Michael Orr was upset that they made it like she had to tell him that thing about act like they're doing something to me, basically, in order to get him going. And he's like, I've been playing football since I was a kid, so that's nonsense. But getting into this, what Jeremiah is talking about is that they actually had some paperwork drawn up, and Michael Orr is thinking that he's signing the papers that they allegedly made him feel that they were adopting him. But the lawyer, who by happenstance was also a friend of theirs, was having him sign conservatorship papers. And those conservatorship papers, if the Tooheys did not mean any bad intentions, why would they still today, 20 years later, still be holding the conservatorship over him, which means that he can't sign or be bound to contracts with other things without their exclusive permission? Makes no sense if you're just doing an underprivileged kid a favor. So really, this is a sad situation. I'm glad Michael filed on it. It's something that he didn't realize and find out about until February of this year. So anyway, good luck to you going forward in your case filing, Michael Orr. Let's move right along, and I want to go back to Andrew Luck in the Hall of Famer. Mark, what's your opinion on Andrew Luck in Hall of Fame?
Well, I feel the same way with that. Andrew Luck is a very good player. I think he did a lot of good things in the league. He was a very good college player. I liked him as a player. I don't think he got a chance to do enough, but they are letting people in the league that's done a little in the Hall of Fame has done less. And yeah, Sterling Sharp was, I think, at a trajectory of being a Hall of Fame career. The time was short on him because of the injury. And if they're going to account for that for Andrew Luck, then Sterling Sharp should have been in because, I mean, love Shannon, but he was better than Shannon.
Okay, Vance, how about you, Vance? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have no thoughts on Andrew Luck.
Okay, well, that's good because I want to take the time to have a few thoughts on that myself.
You can have it.
Played in not only considered the worst division in the NFL during his 6-year tenure. He only won that division twice. The Texans won it the most times, and the Jaguars won it once. Andrew Luck, 6 seasons, as I said, 3 Pro Bowls. You know, Sterling Sharp in 7 seasons made 5 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro seasons. Andrew Luck, 0 All-Pro seasons. Sterling Sharp. When I tell you that he not only led the league in receptions 1 year, but also in reception maybe 2 years and yardage 1 year. It's just incredible that only a year separates them, and you never hear his name come up for the Hall of Fame when if anybody, even over Gale Sayers. Remember, Gale Sayers, if you look at his numbers, we're only massing 8,000 plus yards, and that's it. So anyway, that's my take on that. And Andrew Luck, no, not before Sterling Sharp gets into the Hall of Fame. let's talk a little bit about the sad case, Vance, of Lonzo Ball. What I mean by that is Lonzo potentially could not play again. And the Lakers say it's because he wore big baller tennis shoes. What's your thought on
that? He wore the triple B's.
And the Lakers are saying this? Oh, okay. No, it's real.
That's what he started with, didn't it?
It's real unfortunate that Alonzo. I mean, first of all, it's amazing that the dad, the family, had 3 sons in the NBA. You know,
They do. They had 3.
No, they had 2.
I thought they had 2.
I thought all 3 of them made it.
No, one was made to the G League.
You would.
Is that the NBA?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That's the
Okay,
G
guys.
League.
Okay, damn. Okay,
No.
man. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry. The G League is
No,
not
let
the
him
NBA.
finish.
My
No,
bad.
it's
My
not.
bad. My bad.
That's why it's
My
called
bad.
the G League. That's
My
why
bad.
it's called the G League.
It's not the NBA?
The ball.
No.
Hey, let's get this show back on the road. Mark, what's your thoughts on the G League?
Well, the thing is that it's quite plausible because those shoes were a wreck. And what people don't know is that he had to change those shoes about every quarter, my understanding. It was a, I got people want to use the whole thing about a black man being showing ingenuity and not trying to follow it. Aside from that, I ain't never saying we got to go to them. But the fact of the matter is that if they have the quality, then you have to. Nike, and I'm saying it had to be Nike, but if Nike, for example, has the technology. I got with a guy that had shoes and he was selling paraphernalia. Selling gear and stuff like that. And he told me Nike has some technology with their shoes that they use. And I use him as a particular example because he had a choice of Adidas, whatever. But I mean, and you see his younger brothers with Puma, no problems. But the fact is that they had a really bad design, all that to try to sell and use off his name. Where it would have been better for him to do it another way through the shoe companies.
Okay, well let's have Vance go to a commercial break, and we'll come back with that all world famous Marc's rant.
I couldn't answer the question.
On the back
of the TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach, y'all. We'll be right back with none other than our main comedian, national touring comedian, Mr. Marc Howard, in Marc's rants. What you ranting about tonight, Marc?
First off, I'm gonna say again, yes, the G League is not the NBA. Never was, never will be. So, anyway. A couple of things. I'm going to be all over the place a little bit. Just learned today that music mogul Clarence Avant died today. He was 92. God rest. So I got to meet Clarence Avant. That's why I'm thinking about that. He, ironically, my mother-in-law was a personal assistant of his when he was running Polygram Records. Nice man. I had brief encounters. I'm not going to act like we were friends or anything like that, but I got to meet him, and I do remember hearing an account, which would be crazy here on us here, but he was friends with Bill Clinton, with the Clinton family, and I'll just say to you that Ron, that wasn't no accident. So I'll leave it there. Anyway, the main thing I'm going to talk about too is football season. It's about to be football season, Washington training camp, and I'm excited. I feel good. I'm reminded, even if I didn't know that it was football season, once again, it's usually the reminder of every year is that I get messages from people who want to remind me that they love the Cowboys and they have their own opinions and thoughts and stuff like that, and memes all over the place about teams, and they're all out there. I don't see memes. I really don't see memes for other teams because nobody really puts them out there because they think about the Cowboys. So, every year we're going to have that because people either are Cowboy fans or they wish they were Cowboy fans. Just like one of the guys on the show, he we could tell he used to be a Cowboys fan and then he quit on it. And now he has no team and then he wants to keep talking and make little jokes and statements, but doesn't have enough strength and guts to stick behind a team. So you get no right to talk about my team and you got no team. But come one, come all, they all attempt to have Jeremiah can concur. Being a Cowboys fan, you can't walk down the street. It's like being a rock star. You can't walk down the street with something. They know you're a Cowboy fan. They got something to say. They love you. That's all love, baby. Anyway, can't wait for football season. Enjoy it, man. And how about them Cowboys? That's it for me.
Jeremiah, let's get your quick thoughts on the Lonzo Ball saga.
It's a shame. It's sad that he didn't get to complete his career and might not get to complete his career, but he made quite a bit of money. So
let's not throw no dirt on his career's grave just now. Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what, Marc was talking about football, and it's time to get there. Right now, fellas, we're going to discuss the AFC East and the NFC East. Vance, I know you know already all of the teams in the NFC East. You got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington, what is their name? Commanders right now, and the New York Giants. Vance, NFC East, who you got?
I mean, he knew you knew the team, but he just reiterated them for the sake of the show. Sound?
Yeah.
Sound?
I know I was on mute. I had to get it out because I had to shut all that nonsense y'all was saying about the G League. G League is not part of the NBA. Mark, is that what you're telling me?
Good. Keep the
Vance, you're on your time.
No, I'm just saying. All three of you guys saying that the G League is not part of the NBA.
No one said that. You know
that's what I think is the NBA.
No,
if you made the G League, you part of the NBA.
The WNBA is the WNBA NBA?
Oh Lord, who's talking about the W? We're talking about the G League. The G League is a minor league for the NBA.
You're not going to get the
league. Hey, Phil, hold on, Phil.
A minor league of the NBA.
Hold on. He just said it. It's the minor league. So he
it's
just answered it.
Of the NBA.
So he just answered his own question.
It's not the NBA.
Phil, go ahead. Hey, fans. You
okay. So I think Philadelphia, the Eagles. Yeah. I'm going back with the Eagles.
He said he's going back with it.
Back, come on.
Well, who won the NFC East?
He's going back with it.
Didn't they win it? Didn't they win the East? The NFC East?
That's not Vance. General knowledge wouldn't be the statement. I'm going back to them. Going back to them would be like you left them and came back.
They won last year. You asked me who's going to win the East. So the Eagles won it last year. I'm going back to the East. Now, you didn't say who won the Super Bowl.
Vance. Who coming in second?
All right.
Hey, Vance, who coming in second?
Vance, back to
Vance, who coming in second? Vance, who coming in second?
In where? The East?
Yeah, NFC.
Tell you what, Jeremiah, who do you have on the NFC East?
Probably the Giants.
The NFC East they haven't had a back-to-back NFC East winner in a while, but it do look good for the Philadelphia 76ers, but I wouldn't
76ers?
I mean Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles.
See, Vance is rubbing off on you. Where do you go?
But it not going with my heart and just going with my head, I would say the Philadelphia Eagles. But going with my heart, I'm gonna say my Dallas Cowboys. That's why I got this star on my head right now.
Nothing wrong with that. Mark, how about you?
I'm going to say this for real. The thing is, what I want to do and watch and see is that everybody has now, all of a sudden, from 1 year of not sucky play, has anointed Jalen Hurts as he's supposed to be this next guy. He's supposed to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks, 2 or 3 quarterbacks in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I want to see the schedule. They got a tougher schedule this year.
I don't care
than
who
they had
they
last
play.
year.
I don't care who they play. They play NFL. They put him in fantasy football. They put him above Lamar Jackson. Okay. The whole thing that nobody wins at the same time in the NFC East. That's just the way it's fallen. I know the NFC East. It's to me the best division in football. Is much more rivalries in there, and I will see, and I believe that the Cowboys will win this. I honestly do win. They'll win the division. With Philadelphia coming in second, I think it's going to be a tough fight. I won't be surprised if Philadelphia does win again. But I'm going to say this much: we're going to find out about Jalen Hurts. We're going to find out about Jalen.
One thing I can say. One thing I can say is they had a cupcake schedule last year, and their schedule. Real. Their schedule is a whole lot tougher this year, so you're really gonna see exactly what they made of.
Fellas, it appears that we've lost Vance, and it's time for Vance to do his show. His run as being the genius in the house. But
that's why we lost him.
That's the smartest thing he's done. Got out of here.
I am going to go ahead and take Vance's place, and given that we can't give it up, look. I wanted to talk about venture capitalism, but venture capital, but I will discuss that another time. Right now, I want to talk about some of the rights that the women are fighting for, given how just in Ohio, the voters had to vote in August. Mind you, dealing with the referendum of not putting abortion on the ticket in this coming November. Now, what makes that so interesting is that the legislature for Ohio just voted earlier in the year that there would be no more elections held in August. And yet they held one this August because they knew what? People generally don't get out and vote in August, and also that they expected a low turnout. But thank goodness, a good push came through, and they were able to get 57% of the vote to 43% of the vote against them. And now everything will be on the ballot, and hopefully women's rights will be preserved. Now, what I want to get to, though, is that people, women, white suburban women, get out and stop voting for your tribalism. Just because you're a Republican does not mean you have to keep being ignorant and voting for those Republicans who want to take your rights away. You wouldn't have to put yourself in this situation where you'll sweat it out wondering if these people are going to take your rights away. For once, stop being tribal and following like it's a cult, and vote your true conscience and vote these idiots out of office. That's it for me. And it looks like we've lost Vance for sure, but Jeremiah, give me your last words.
Hey, I just want people to join Team Jeremiah for the Sickle Cell 5K. You do not have to stay in Oklahoma to support Team Jeremiah. Go to www.scok5k.com. You do not need a code or anything like that. Just select team, quantity, and then we put in your information. They'll ask you what team you want to be with and want to join. Hit Team Jeremiah. Support a worthy cause.
All right, sounds great. Mark, how about you?
I'm going to use this time to do a little brushback on this so-called poor schedule. I mean, it's the NFL. and I'm looking at the difference between the two schedules that Philadelphia played and the Cowboys played, and they got Pittsburgh, only 3 different teams: Pittsburgh, New Orleans, and the Arizona Cardinals. Which they out of those 3 games they played them at home. 2 of them they played them at home. Arizona they went to. We played Cincinnati Bengals, the Rams, and Tampa Bay, and we played Tampa Bay twice.
Okay.
I don't see much difference in the level of the schedule there, and it just depends on how the teams go. But no, I just think that hey, Jalen Hurts cut back on his mistakes, which improved his game quite a bit. But when I see people adjust to what they're doing with him and his offense, then that's when I want to see if he can quarterback. I know y'all OU fans.
And he'll be back and doing it this year. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. I'm Phil Townsend, your host of Sports Talk on TAAN TV. And again, that's Mr. Jeremiah Watts, the Two Dog Sports Talk Show out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Mr. Marc Howard. Catch him sometime. He's a funny man. We're out of here.
Bye, Vance. Bye, Vance.
Y'all take care.